Now, I've never owned a Seiko SKX007, and I've always wanted to see how good an homage to that watch could be, because the original Seiko had its own little quirks and little shortcomings, which I was wondering, can a homage watch, well, they've got the opportunity to do whatever they want from scratch, have they rectified all those shortcomings? Or have they just made more? I don't know. So let's check out how good this watch is just by my first impressions. And then in a week's time, I'll probably do a more in-depth review to study more about this watch and a bit behind the design history of Seiko's SKX007 and see how this watch really compares and is it worth your attention. So let's take a look. So guys, I've literally not opened this box yet. Got this today from SteeldiveUK.com. So thanks guys. I am looking forward to opening this. So without further ado, let's open it up. White Watsits. And if you can smell that, just have a sniff. Go on, have a good sniff. It smells like prawn crackers. Very strange. Anyway, I digress again. Now, what we got in here? Oh, that's heavy. Now, I was going to speed this bit up, me clearing up my mess. So then, this is literally my first impressions. So let's have a look and see how good it is. All steel dives come in this nice hard case. Keeps it very safe. Now, let's take a look. Get the extra strap, black rubber, very nice, and some tools and spring bars, etc. Very good, and the little Steeldive tag on there. Ah, here we are. So what you get in the box is extra protection. God, this watch is heavy. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go and run and get my scales. Seriously, that feels really heavy. Anyway, then you get an international warranty. But Steeldive do a guarantee. Check out the website. It does have some protection. So you've got the reassurance of buying from the UK, and it gives you a lot of peace of mind. And they ship to USA now. So any of you guys are UK or American based, Europe as well, it's brought over to the UK. So it's a lot quicker to then distribute to other parts of the world. So a bit of peace of mind if you're in the market for this kind of watch. And I'm in no way paid to say anything I'm saying in this video. My perks for doing Steeldive watches is I get sent them and I get to borrow them and then send them back. That's my perk. And the other perk, which I actually can pass on to you guys, is if you like this Steeldive or any of the other ones I've done reviews on, all you've got to do is at the checkout, type Watch Me With Watches 5, is the code there, and you get an extra £5 off what is already a really good value watch. So that's my little gift to you, and adds a little professional dimension to the channel as well, which I'm very happy to offer to you guys. And thanks to Steeldive for helping us out. So let's take a look inside the packaging. And as soon as I got this out, I'm going to get my scales and weigh this bad boy, because a good sports watch weight is approximately 150 grams on a steel bracelet. And that's sized down normally for my 7-inch wrist. This, I've got this Steeldive on a, I bought this, by the way. It's not a freebie. Yeah, this on a steel bracelet is about 150 grams. So I'll be interested to see what this is like. So my initial impressions are, without taking any plastic off, it's a good looking watch. It's got lovely big indices. So I'm going to go and get my scales, because that's the first thing I could notice straight away. So I'll be back. So let's see how heavy this is. Yeah, 177. So I'll be interested to see what this will weigh when I take some of the links out to size it for my wrist. So yeah, it's definitely reasonably weighty. Not too heavy. It just, you definitely notice the weight when you get out of the packaging. So let's start taking the plastic off. I haven't fiddled with the watch yet, so let's carry on. Now, let's take a quick look over it. So, nice polishing on the sides. All very neat. And then you've got brushing on top. The lugs don't quite line up, so it's a bit proud there. Let's feel the crown. Oh, straight away I can feel it's a bit sharp there. Not sharp as in it's going to cut you, but I've never played with a real SKX before, so this is my first experience of anything close to it. So I wonder if that bit there, when you are undoing the crown, you definitely feel it rubbing against your finger. Definitely. Not sure I like that. So we've got the crown undone. Let's see how the hand winding feels. It's an NH35 in here, so it's like all NH35s. It's going to feel smooth. First bit, let's pull the crown out for date just. Yeah, that's all good. Pull it all the way out to do the time. Just as you expect, really. It's going to be smooth. Nothing seems out of the ordinary there. I like these hands. They're nice and big, very legible. And yeah, the crown screws in really easily. No binding, it's very smooth. So the only issue I initially noticed was, yeah, that bit there. Let's get some of it's this bit. And you see, naturally your fingers are going to be rubbing against that there when you're winding it or unscrewing it. So bear that in mind. Better if that was rounded off a bit. It's of no extra benefit having the extra material there sticking out. Okay, so bezel lines up beautifully. I'll do a loom shot in a bit. So I think it's going to be quite good. They generally are good on these steel dives. But I like the ceramic bezel, looks smart. Flat sapphire glass. Doesn't sit proud at all. It's really nice. I like this detailing on here, but it's quite smooth. It doesn't feel that grippy. I'm not even turning it. It just feels quite smooth. A nice subtle AR coating. Well, I say subtle, it's quite blue. But when you get into daylight, you don't really notice it. And dead on, as you can see, it's pretty good. Let's feel the Jubilee bracelet. It's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's a little bit, when I say not amazing, I mean, you just feel it's a little bit unrefined, like with the polishing and the brushing. I know people say steel dives aren't renowned for their amazing bracelets, but I've seen worse. I really have. This is okay, but you could easily swap this out. And that's something I'm going to do in my more detailed review of this watch, which I'll talk a little bit more about the SKX007's history, and how it's inspired people making homages of these watches and the modding culture, things like that. I will talk more in detail, so keep an eye out for that next video on this watch. This is literally just an initial impressions, so you get that rawness, if you will, of I've just got out of the box. What can I see? What little aspects can I notice straight away? And then when I've had it a few days, you'll get a better idea of other things that I've noticed. Doesn't look like solid end links. When I take this bracelet off and put it on, I've got a nice rubber. I was going to quickly show you what I will put on a rubber in the next videos. Sod's law, it's a tiny, I didn't buy this specifically for this watch. I've got this in a little bundle pack I've bought, but this is pretty much the type of rubber strap you would get as standard on an SKX. So it's a couple of mil too narrow, but I'll put it on anyway when I do the full review. So you get to see how for a few quid you can get a nice upgrade. This is really good quality rubber with a nice brushed stainless steel keep on there. Get some focus. I will upgrade my camera one day when I'm not so broke. But yeah, that looks nice. So you can upgrade that to, so if anyone's ever got problems with the standard bracelets on any watch, you can really easily do upgrades. I've had quite a look at quite a few steel dives now. I've never found one with any imperfections under the dial. They're really good at keeping them dust free. One of my personal bugbears is I don't like lint or fluff underneath the dial. For some reason that just drives me mad. Don't worry, I don't go running around screaming about it, but it does. It is annoying. And then let's feel the bezel. My first, ooh, that's unusual. I don't mean that as a criticism. So, okay, we're at the 12 o'clock. Feels like 120 click. It's weird, around this area, it sounds a little bit tinnier. When I'm around this side, It sounds more as you'd expect a bezel to sound, a bit more clicky. It feels nice. There's no slop on it, no backplay or forward, no rock on it, anything like that. There's no wobble. Yeah, it's just around there. I noticed there's a little sort of extra sort of pingy sound, tingly sound. Really weird way to describe. You're going to want to know some dimensions, aren't you? So let me get my trusty measurement tool. Available from many online retailers. I've got mine on Amazon for about £7. Now let's have a quick look. So this is 41. It's not a very big watch. How long is it? Looks quite compact. Yeah, it's only 45. I'll put it on my wrist in a minute. See how it looks. Thickness 12.8. Yes, nice proportions, you know. It's a well proportioned size watch. 22 lugs. I quite like that. That is a nicely sized watch, to be honest. It really is. Good sizing. I've got a 7-inch wrist, which is pretty average, but let's say you're a bigger person. I'm not going to measure it. I think you'll be all right. Look at all that extra. I can get my 4 fingers under there. That's one of my measuring gauges in life. If you can fit 4 fingers under or in anything, it's generally quite a lot of space. So I think you'll be okay if you've got a big wrist. Small wrist. Let's see. You got the securing clasp, double pushers to remove. That looks all like it's pressed in that. Again, it's not bad. It's a little bit scratchy and feels a bit thin. You know, it's just been pressed. Again, this is a great value watch, so I would deem it acceptable. It's a well-weighted watch. It feels solid, like I said before. With all these extra half a bazillion links in here, it weighs 177 grams. So if you've got an enormous wrist, your name's Andre the Giant, I think you'll be all right. But let's see how many links you can take out. You can tell by looking under the bracelet. There's lots of little arrows, so you can see you could take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that side. And 5 that side. So you could take 10 links out. That looks like it would be almost 3 inches of reduction in size. So I think there's a lot of extra scope. But in my full review, which I will do, I will size it down for my wrist, which is average, and you'll get to see how well it can fit me. And then you can gauge if you have a bigger or a smaller wrist, whether this watch is going to fit you. But I think it's sitting in the sweet spot in terms of its dimensions and thickness. It's not too big. I thought this was going to be like a big beast of a watch, but I think it's really good. So I'm going to finish this mini review with, let's check the lume out. As I expected, the lume is fantastic. I've got my UV torch and I just gave it a quick blast, and it went radioactive on me immediately. So I don't even have to go to get the effect of the lume on this watch. I don't have to go into my room and get all into ultra pitch black mode. Let's get my UV, my Scorpion Hunter torch, and then give it a boost. Sorry if anyone's got epilepsy watching this. I should have warned you. Now, and you see, it's great. A lot of different colours. I know the camera's picking it out. I've literally got one shade of green for the indices, an ever so slightly different shade of green on the hands, and then you've got more of a BGW9 tinge to the bezel. So that's quite nice. I mean, they all seem to be quite equal in strength. Let's put my studio lights back on. So initial impressions are, before I waffle on for 3,000 years, it's very good. Great start. Not sure about that bit there in the way. And the bracelet's average, but there's plenty of adjustment on it. And when I've sized it properly and given it a go for a few days, I'll let you know if it's comfortable or not. If all my long blonde hairs end up getting plucked out, I'll tell you, just budget a few quid for a different strap. See, that'll go nicely. See, matte greyish, dark grey dial will go with a black strap. Bit of a 90s vibe, because that's what this is all about. So guys, if you've enjoyed this mini review, it's not one of my gargantuan 20-minute monster videos, it's a good initial impression, but I'm going to go into a little bit more information in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have, like it. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and then I look forward to seeing you in one of my other videos. So thanks again, and bye for now.